Welcome back to my channel. My name is Jocelyn, and for today's topic, I am going to provide you the latest update at the US Embassy in Manila. So what are the changes that are going to happen in terms of immigration policies, and also what will be the effect to the processing of visas? There is now a new Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, who has replaced Antony Blinken. He will focus on America First policies. The top priority is to protect the lives and interests of U.S. citizens overseas. There was information that some consulates or embassies abroad or immigration offices will be closed under the Trump administration. So Trump officials confirmed that there are immigration offices that will be closed in Latin America.
We obtained internal State Department documents that show that the Trump administration has directed officials to cease operations at offices that the Biden administration set up in Latin America, in Colombia, Ecuador, Costa Rica, and Guatemala, to essentially screen immigrants there and to offer them a legal and safe alternative to crossing the U.S.-Mexico border illegally. The Biden administration argued, Lindsay, that these offices, alongside other legal immigration pathways, would dissuade and discourage migrants thinking about crossing the border illegally from doing so, and instead to wait and to apply for these legal immigration programs. But the Trump administration, according to this memo, Lindsay, is now reassessing how these programs actually serve U.S. national interest. That is the wording of this memo, and thus is shutting these offices down in Latin America.
There are new priorities and missions set by the Department of State, and this was announced in a press statement by Marco Rubio, who is the new Secretary of State. So he said that every dollar that the government spends, or every program, or every policy must be justified with the answer to three simple questions. Does it make America safer? Does it make America stronger? Or does it make America prosperous? There are some good news for those who are applying for an immigrant visa. Effective January 22nd, the USCIS is waiving any and all requirements requiring applicants for adjustment of status to be a lawful permanent resident to submit documentation on their Form I-693 and COVID-19 vaccination records as evidence. So this means that if you're applying for an immigrant visa, you don't need to get vaccinated for COVID. And the USCIS will not issue any request for evidence or notice of intent to deny related to proving a COVID-19 vaccination. So this means that the USCIS will not deny any adjustment of status application based on the applicant's failure to present documentation that they received the COVID-19 vaccination. So this is good news for all incoming immigrants. There is another important update from the USCIS. There are key changes to Form I-485 and the green card application process. Effective February 10, USCIS will only accept a particular edition of the form, the October 24, 2024 edition, and it is available online. The Form I-485 is the green card application form. So if you're going to submit the application after February 10, you need to use the online edition or the form October 24, 2024. Otherwise, your form will be rejected, or your application can be rejected if you do not file Form I-693 with the Form I-485 when required. The Trump administration is going to be strict in reviewing the forms, including the documentation or the supporting documents. So make sure that you only submit the latest form. If you're going to apply as a first-time applicant, either for immigrant or non-immigrant visa, you must secure a separate appointment at this new location for your scanning and fingerprints. If you are a U.S. citizen living in the Philippines, there are some great news as well. There will be a dedicated website to service all the needs of U.S. citizens living in the Philippines. There are no major changes at the U.S. Embassy Manila website regarding non-immigrant visas or immigrant visas. So please make sure that when you apply for an immigrant or non-immigrant visa, always check the latest information from the Department of State because things can change anytime due to the policies being introduced by the Trump administration. If you were not aware, there were new changes effective September 28, 2024 as announced by the U.S. Embassy in Manila, and this is regarding the new visa application center at Parañaque City. And this is for immigrant and non-immigrant visa applicants. There will be photo scanning, fingerprint, and new scheduling at the new visa application center in Parañaque. However, the actual interview will still be at the U.S. Embassy in Manila. The appointment scheduling will be at the VAC Center and also actual interview at the U.S. Embassy in Manila. If you are a new user, you must create new account. However, if you are a current user, you must create new profile to retrieve payment receipt and appointment information. And this can be done at the new visa application center. However, there will be no appointments needed if you are going to pick up your passport, if you are going to do your interview waiver, or you are only going to do document drop-off. There is now a new visa application process, and for all U.S. immigrant and non-immigrant visa applicants, you will need to make an appointment at the VAC to have fingerprints and a photo taken prior to making a separate interview appointment at the U.S. Embassy, Manila. Visa applicants will first need to create an online profile in the user portal. Now, what do you need to bring during your appointment at the visa application center? First, a passport valid for travel to the U.S., your printed DS-160 confirmation page, your printed appointment confirmation page, and children under 5 years applying for visas do not need to come to the VAC, but you must bring your acceptable photo per the U.S. visa specifications and guidelines. Please take note that the VAC is an independent contractor and not considered as the U.S. Embassy. Only interviews happen at the U.S. Embassy. And here are the hours of operation for biometrics, submission of interview waiver, and passport collection. So biometrics can be done on a Saturday, and the submission of interview waiver only Monday to Friday, and the passport collection Monday to Friday as well. So please take note of these hours. Here is the location of the VAC. Parcal Building 8, Level 3, Diosdado Macapagal Boulevard, Barangay Tambo, Parañaque City. And visa appointment that was scheduled by the National Visa Center. How can you schedule an appointment? You must now schedule 2 appointments, one at the visa application center, and number 2, a second appointment for the visa interview at the embassy. Here are the new security regulations when entering the U.S. Embassy and visa application center. You cannot bring the following items: battery-operated or electronic devices such as phones, watches, cameras, audio-video cassettes, and other portable devices. Large shoulder bags, bags such as travel bags or backpacks, food items, sealed envelopes or packages, cigarettes, sharp objects, weapons, or explosive materials of any kind. So this means that the list is not exhaustive and other items may be prohibited by the staff. For all U.S. tourist visa applicants, if your application has been refused under Immigration and Nationality Act 221G, which means that essential information is missing from an application or that an application requires additional administrative processing, the consular officer who interviews you will tell you at the end of your interview if your case is being refused. The consular officer will also tell you that the case has to undergo administrative processing or ask you to submit additional information. So this means you will be given a written letter notifying you of the visa refusal and will include a reference to requested documents, if any. If you have any other questions or comments, please post them down below and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Again, thank you guys for supporting my channel. And if you haven't liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. I always welcome new subscribers. Thank you guys for watching. I hope everyone is staying safe and have a great day.